Hey everyone, today I'm in my office and I wanted to go ahead and give you a plant tour of everything that is in this room. So I did a plant tour of kind of the main space, I think it was maybe last November, and I've kind of been waiting until things were finished in here, but things are still not completely finished. I actually have some decor questions that I want to get your opinion on, but I feel like for the most part, the main items that I want in here are currently in here. And I have some plants in here that I really love, and I feel like the room is very close to feeling how I want it to feel. So a bit of background, we moved into our home in 2020. This is my first time owning, meaning I can do whatever I want to it within reason. And so this is the first time I've really had a space that I've painted, that I've gotten furniture that fits in the room versus just like furniture I've had since college that's still getting use out of it. So I did most of the changes in here in 2023 and 2024. And I've been going at a very slow pace, which is the opposite of how I feel like personality-wise I want to move, but I always like the results better when I take my time and really finding things that I really love instead of just things that are like fine for now, if that makes sense. So we really didn't do anything in here. It's always been my office. I've worked from home since 2015, so I always needed a separate office space. So it's been my office since we moved in. It was just bare white walls, an IKEA desk that I've had forever. Maybe there was an area rug, I can't even remember. I don't think I have any videos because I'm the absolute worst at taking before photos and videos, but it wasn't really a space that felt like mine. And then last summer, we had it painted, so the wall color, which I really like, I love pink, if you can tell. The wall color is Southern Charm by Benjamin Moore. I really like it because it's pink, but not like a super bubblegummy pink, so it's kind of like a neutral pink, which I really like. And we put in like chandeliers and shelves, which I'll show you in a little bit. And then this year, I got like an area rug from an estate sale, a desk and a chair from an antique store, some other items that are really filling out the space. So I feel like now is a good time to show you the plants and the items that I have in here. I'll obviously be still adding in some more plants, making some more changes, I'm sure, to this room, but I feel like I have the basics of what I love in here. So let me go ahead and give you a plant tour of my office. So first, let me give you an idea of the layout of the room, and I'll definitely take you in closer for more details. But one of the things I love the most is that my front rooftop deck is right out there. So especially when the weather's nice, I can have my doors open, I can hear the birds, I can see a garden full of color versus a garden right now that's full of one color, basically brown, but that's gonna change soon enough. So right now, almost all of the plants in this room are over here. That some of them do stay here, but in the winter when we have limited daylight hours, so these windows face west, I'll shift my plants over to the window much closer than I have them, let's say during the summer, because I want them to get as much light as possible. I've just found that makes my plants happier. You know, plants that maybe were able to survive in a different corner during summer definitely look a lot less happy. So that's why I move them to the window. I incorporate grow lights. So some of these will stay here in the summer. Some of them will shift because I do need more access to go in and out when it's garden season versus right now. So let me take you up close and give you more details on these plants. So first up over here, I have a China doll plant, which I really love. I've noticed, and I've been trying to remedy it, that I have a lot more trailing plants than I have plants that are vertical and upright. So I've been trying to make sure I have a balance of both. But I really like this, especially for the pot, because this pot is really beautiful. So I wanted to make sure to show off the pot, but I also just love this plant. So the leaves have a really nice sheen to them. I got this from Gethsemane, I think at least 6 months ago now. So I know that it's happy in this position. So that's definitely one of my favorites. I like it on this trunk. I have a question about the trunk I'll get to in just a second. Next over here, we have a Benjamina ficus. This is one of my newer plants. I was looking for something with some height that wasn't too expensive, and I also got this at Gethsemane, and I think this is perfect. I am planning to keep this plant in this spot just throughout the season. I might pop it in and out. We'll kind of see how I feel because my garden's probably already gonna be full enough, but I use this door because the left side door can't open unless the right side door is open. So 99% of the time, just this door is getting used. So I think this plant will be able to stay here throughout the season. And I like my chaise lounge here with the tree, with the plant, with the trunk. I like the look of this area. So I think this is pretty much like their permanent spots. My most recent plant purchase is this azalea. So I went to Gethsemane for dahlia tubers, which I just showed you in a recent video. And they had just gotten in a lot of spring blooming plants like forest hydrangeas, this azalea, and I've just been in the mood for spring, so I got it. Now it's not gonna bloom forever, unfortunately. It will just bloom for a few weeks now. I think they said it might be able to bloom again this season, I'm not sure. But this I am gonna pop outside and inside, so this will stay inside until the nights hit consistently above 50. It'll live outside and then I'll bring it back inside. But I really like this little like azalea topiary tree. It's so pretty. And I love hot pink, hot fuchsia in the garden. So that plant just makes me happy, especially looking at it in here right now. I do have this tray for my shoes. And let me ask you a question right now about this trunk. So I got this trunk from an antique store in Chesterton, Indiana, which is my hometown. I do find that antique finds outside of Chicago, for the most part, are cheaper than antique finds inside of Chicago. It's the perfect size for what I needed here. I wanted something where I can store like tablecloths and other items that was short enough to fit with my chaise lounge and not too tall, and this is perfect. I don't hate, but I also don't love the color of, well, the green or the black, really. I was gonna maybe just repaint it, but I can tell there's writing underneath here. So what I'm trying to figure out is if I strip or sand the paint, is there any way to do that without taking like what's underneath it off? I can't really tell if it's etched in or just kind of flush with the trunk. So let me know if you have any ideas. If not, I might just give it a coat of paint. What color paint? I have no idea yet. Swinging down and around here, let me first show you this grow light. So I use grow lights much more in the winter than I do in the summer. In fact, I don't even know if I usually have grow lights on at all in the summertime because we get enough light. But in the winter, I know that my plants need it. So what I did is these light bulbs are from Amazon, the brand Sansi. I have another grow light that I got from them in the main area. But I don't tend to love the look of like the grow lamps that come with the grow lights. So I got my own lamp from Amazon, just a regular lamp. And I put the grow light bulbs in it. They're off right now just so it's not shining brightly in the camera. But I also have it set up to a timer in a plug that's behind the dresser here. So it's on about, I think, 14 hours a day. My plants have been much happier with it. And it looks pretty. Now, during the summer, this is probably gonna move to the opposite corner where it's a little bit darker, but for now it's up here with all of my plants. In front of my light is an aglaonema. This is Silver Bay. It's free because it's a division of my main plant in the front area, and the main plant was actually my very first home plant purchase from Gethsemane, so it kind of started this whole thing, which means it's been alive since 2017, 2018. I just divided this maybe a month or two ago, so it's still filling out. But that's a great way to have one plant and make many more plants from it. There's a lot of plants here that are actually propagations from other plants. I will point those out to you as we go around the room, but take cuttings, divide, propagate your plants so that you can easily multiply the number you have without having to spend a lot of money. Behind it then is my ruby rubber tree, which I also absolutely love. This one's probably gonna need a pot up at some point soon. But let me come over here. I just love it because I love pink again, and I love the variegation of these leaves. Now they do need support. I have a plant support that I bought here, but I also am using some of the old sunflower stalks from gardens past as supports as well. And what I like about this is, you know, my sunflowers can get 6 or 7 feet tall. I can cut off the stalks to the height I need for the plant. So you can see how much it's grown since I added the stalk. And then to the right of that is my shelving unit. So this cabinet is from Wayfair. I've had it forever. It's one of my kind of early Wayfair finds that I still really love. It's got some good storage in it. It's the brown and gold, which I kind of like in this room. So I really love this cabinet, and it's lightweight enough that I can move it around on my own. Then we have these 3 shelves, which I can't remember off the top of my head where they're from, but I will link them down below. But I specifically wanted brown and gold shelves to kind of match with the brown and gold of the other furniture. And I wanted these bars because during the garden season, I will actually hang flowers here to dry. The gomphrena that's in this vase used to be hanging on one of those bars. So things do get shifted around quite often in this room. Now on these shelves, let's see, I think 1, 2, 3, 4 of these plants are propagation. So again, they were free, and the other ones I did purchase. So coming up here first, one of my other favorite plants, because it's pink, are the variegated string of hearts. Now, these I've had for a while, the main plant and the propagations. I've made so many propagations. These actually did much better in our last apartment we were renting that had south-facing lights, so they were even brighter pink. I'm trying to make them work in here with grow lights and being close to the sun, but they definitely preferred that southern exposure. Then above it, I have the regular string of hearts, or the non-variegated. So these, I still think they're beautiful. I mean, the leaves are hearts. That's so cool. And they're just kind of a green color, but they still have a nice pattern on the leaves. So original propagation of those as well. Plant stand or candle stand is from an antique store. Then we have this asparagus fern, which I saw at the place where I've gone to get my nails done, and I was like, I need one of those plants. So I got this from Gethsemane, and I can't wait for it to kind of go crazy, taking over. That's what theirs looks like. It's just kind of gone everywhere on the shelves. So that is my goal for that plant here. Then I have my propagations of philodendron and pothos. I've propagated those plants so many times, I don't even know. And then I have a little monstera up there that I can't remember where I got it from. It was a plant store. Oh, I think it was Chicago Plants. Chicago Plant Store. I think that's what it was called in Chicago, obviously. This one I have had to pot up at least once. I don't know how big it's gonna get, but for now, it kind of filled that void of like more vertical versus trailing plants in this space. Then we have one of my favorite plants that has lived much longer than I assumed it would. So this is called Rainbow Moss, and I got it from Chalet Nursery, which is in Wilmette, Illinois. I walked in and was like, I need that plant. Now, I thought that I was gonna have to have much higher humidity for this, but so far it's stayed alive. And again, it's been like 4 or 5 months. I have a humidifier here that I will run. It's just not running right now. I also will spray it when I remember. I water it about twice a week. And so far, so good. But I just think this looks really cool on these shelves. Before we head to the other side of the room, I just wanted to show off the chandelier really quickly. It's from Wayfair and much cheaper than a lot of other chandeliers that I was looking at online. So I'll link this down below if it's still there, but it's just, I don't know, it's so pretty. It has the green leaves on it, the gold branches. Let me turn on the light so you can see that. And yeah, I just think it's really, really pretty. Now this rug I got from an estate sale, which for the size I think is 10 by 12, is a really good deal for only $100. So I was really excited about this. I knew I wanted this room to be like pink, green, browns, and gold. So it was perfect. And I believe they said it was made by the owner whose estate sale it was. So I really think that's so cool. Coming over here then, this is where I have another question. Well, a couple other questions. So I think I've shown you this before, but this is a jewelry box that like I've had since I was a kid. And right now there's nothing in it. And I thought because it was pink and green, I would put it in here, but I still don't know if it fits really, or if I really need it anymore in here, or might donate it to somebody. But let me know your thoughts. Like, does it look like it fits in here? Should it be somewhere else? I'm not really sure. And then my other question is I hung this mirror. I wanted it on this wall to try to reflect more light into the room. What do we think of this? Yes? No? I'd put it above the desk. I didn't like it, and somebody did say it made it seem more like a vanity, which it definitely did. So that's why I moved it into this corner. So let me know your thoughts. But what I would like to do is get a tall plant that's growing up here next to that mirror, maybe move my grow light over here during the summer and kind of create a plant area in that corner because I feel like it is missing a plant. So let me know your thoughts. Next to my desk, I have a Raven ZZ plant, which is basically just a black leaved ZZ plant. I have it in this bucket. I got, again, at an antique store. I'm finding I love more like moody colors in here than I was expecting at first. The desk, I did show you in a recent video, another antique store find, antique-ish home decor. I'll link them down below. And then I had a chair that was way too big for this desk. So I went again to Chesterton, Indiana, found this chair that had a pink cushion. I was like, that's perfect. I did measure the space under the desk. I didn't measure the actual width of the chair. Thought by eyeballing it, it would look okay. And it just is slightly too big to fit. But that's fine. It's not like I'm getting it under there when I'm sitting in it. And it's small enough that if I just kind of tuck it like that when I'm not using it, that I think that looks fine. And I really like that. The lamp my dad made, who passed away in 2015. So I have some of his stained glass things. They really mean a lot to me. And this painting I got from my aunt who found it at a garage sale. I don't know, however many years ago. I thought at first it would be too big, but I actually really like how it fills out this space. So this is now my little work area, and I never needed a giant desk. The desk I had in here before wasn't much longer, but even then I didn't need as much space as it had. Candle holders, those are from an antique store. And then we have this hanging pothos. So this is from Flora in Chicago. I got the plant and the pot and the macrame hanger all at the same time. So my plan is to let this grow and vine like this way, this way. It's just gonna be a whole plant wall. And then there are some little rainbow sparkles because I like to add these type of things in my window. Like this, I think I got from Amazon. This was my stepmom's, and I just leave those in the windows to create little rainbows around the room, and it makes me happy. I also have one over here in this window. So then the last few things in here are the chaise lounge that I got from Ashley Furniture. I have a little like end table that I got from an antique store. And then all of the paintings are also from antique stores. They, 3 of them, I think, are from Naperville Affordable Antiques. And then I think this one was from an antique store in Oglesby, Illinois. But again, I've just gathered these things over the years, and this room is finally coming together in a place that really feels like me. So that is my office / the pink room plant tour. Let me know if you have any questions on anything I showed you, but also let me know what I should do about removing the paint on the trunk potentially without removing the lettering. Let me know if you think the jewelry box looks fine there or not, any plants that could potentially go in that corner. And I think that's everything. So I really, like I said, I love that I took my time and waited to find things that I loved instead of just like buying a bunch of stuff at once, just to, you know, complete the room. And I'm sure, like I said, there's more plants that I'll definitely add in here, probably some more pieces of art, probably more stuff I find in antique stores. But yeah, the process of kind of going through it slowly, I feel like has made me make better decisions as I've gone along. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.